In this video, there's some fantastic breaking news that I need to let you know about. Also, some things happening inside the market that are just so important for you to know. Let's run the numbers. Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS and the CTKS method. I'm very grateful to be sharing this time together with you. What we focus on here is taking you from the panic and blame zone into the patience and mastery of fear zone. Inside Zone 1 and Zone 2, people lose money because they have, unfortunately, the wrong focus and incorrect rules. It takes a lot of time inside financial markets and a lot of different focuses to understand that we need to look at things differently. Inside Zone 3, you can make money. Inside Zone 4, you can keep it. There's some amazing news inside today's video. Let's get into it and let's run the numbers. There's going to be a lot of celebration in the XRP community. XRP has been listed on the Nasdaq Stockholm exchange with the Virtune XRP ETP. The ticker symbol is VIR XRP. It's been reported that Gary Gensler is not happy and he could be looking for a change in work, but this is all currently speculation at this time. The crypto market has come down a little bit, but it's not looking too bad. Bitcoin is currently down 2% for the day, but it's up 102% for the year. Not too shabby. Actually, sometimes if you just zoom out a little, you can see that even though the markets are a little bit turbulent now, over time they're not too bad. In the last 24 hours, the markets have come down a little bit because there's been about 80 million worth of liquidations, and the majority of which have been long liquidations. But no matter what side of the market you're on, the longs and the shorts are always liquidating each other. The markets typically turn around when we get more inflows into the markets, and especially higher value inflows. We're starting to see that with the spot Bitcoin ETFs. We've been witnessing recently a lot of outflows. You can see them all here, all these red bars, but we're starting to see increasing inflows into the market. If you like this kind of video, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe as well. So appreciative that you're here and sharing this time together. And the comments from yesterday's video were just superb. If you have an opportunity, please go back and read them. They're just incredible. Of late, the crypto market has been retracing, and we saw a little bit of an uptick and then, unfortunately, a bit of a kickback. But if we zoom out a little, we know that the crypto market is up quite considerably. Something really interesting happened in the last 24 hours. The Trump sentencing was coming up, but it's actually been delayed to September, just weeks before the US election. Sentencing has now moved to September the 18th, less than 7 weeks before the US election. Therefore, that Trump sentencing moves out to here, and this is 7 weeks before the US elections. Remember, coming up, non-farm payrolls and the Mt. Gox repayment. Looking through the crypto market, we've seen Bitcoin coming down, and what does that mean for Ethereum? Of course, it's been coming down too. What about Binance Coin? Yes, sirree, it's coming down. But there's news out that a Solana ETF may be in the pipeline, so Solana's getting really happy. Could it mean that ADA is getting a spot ETF? Well, it's certainly behaving well. We can also see that there are the starting signs of a turnaround in some of these cryptos, and this is exactly what we need to look at. We know that Bitcoin and crypto cannot escape the stock market's gravity. What have we been noticing? The VIX has been coming down, which has been placing a little bit of risk-on activity into the stock market. But we've noticed that crypto is going in the opposite direction at the current time. We can see that crypto is behaving more like gold at the current time. And this is pretty interesting because crypto was always regarded, well, Bitcoin, as digital gold, and now it's behaving like it. Ooh. With this in mind, you want to see the yields coming down and the DXY coming down. That will place positive price momentum into gold and also into Bitcoin. And there's some really interesting things happening inside the markets this month. Inside the service, the DXY, Bitcoin, and the S&P 500 have been released. You'll see that the new levels are very different to the old levels, and that's because there's so much reset across periods. One thing to note, and this is really interesting given what happened in the stock market in the past trading session, the S&P 500 has stupendous overhead resistance in it. It is likely to go fairly flat this month. That could push crypto up dramatically if that happens. Because Tesla has been doing so incredibly well, Tesla levels and also XRP levels will be released today. Let's just have a quick look at the Bitcoin levels, the updated ones. We can see around 64,000 we have structural overhead resistance and a little bit above the 63,200 mark as well. The way to interpret structural support and structural resistance levels according to level 1 and level 2 standard certification, if it gets above and can't reconfirm a movement up towards the next one, it's going down. And these levels are always magnetized. We can see that there's a bit of a negative fresh air gap here at the current time. Those negative gaps and positive gaps can get filled very quickly. When a negative gap gets filled, it creates a positive gap, so price can move very explosively inside these areas. Right now, Bitcoin is just consolidating above that 61,740 level. We can see more structural support levels below at the current time. There's a bit of optimism returning into the crypto market. Of course, we have the Mt. Gox issues, but however, with XRP launching on the Swedish Nasdaq, and day after day of positive Bitcoin flow into the spot ETFs, we may see the crypto market starting to turn around, especially if the S&P 500 levels out. When we look at the structural levels of the S&P 500, at this 55.10 mark, we're coming into structural overhead resistance, and you can see there's a couple of levels playing in there. We managed to get across that 54.82 mark. And we've seen some positive price momentum, but this is reasonable levels of overhead structural resistance. We're likely to go flat for at least for a little while. But the real issue is what's above this structure. And if you have the indicator from CTKSMethod.org, you know exactly what's there. It's going to be a really tough month for the S&P 500. Something that's really worthwhile thinking about. You remember, as Bitcoin comes into overhead structural resistance and starts to accumulate like this, the alts tend to go crazy. Now, I want you to apply the same kind of logic to the S&P 500, the major market indice. As the S&P 500 comes into big structural resistance, and I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about what's up there. It just means we're likely to see a rally in the stock market alts, also a rotation away from the stock market into the crypto market. It's literally no surprise that the CTKS method, which requires 2 levels of standard certification, is the world's most advanced and powerful structural smart money buy and sell level detection system. We literally get X-ray vision on the charts and where charts are moving to. When we look at the DXY, let's just pop on structure. You can see that there's so many levels of structural support below the DXY. There's a lot of structure underpinning the DXY this month. We're completely unlike other people who look at charts because we understand the price is just a wave moving between structural levels, and structure, the most statistically significant structure available globally, is CTKS structure. If you would like the indicators, you can just pop across to CTKSMethod.org, and always remember, I am dedicated and committed. I win or learn and never blame. This should be your positive affirmation throughout your entire life. Using those I words just programs your subconscious mind to either say, I'm winning or learning. And if you blame, you're losing the lesson, which means the next lesson will be more expensive. You want to pay for lessons cheaply. And always seek to solve your problems with positive excellence. Positive excellence is the way to live. It's absolutely the way to get the most out of life that you can possibly get. knowing that there are higher forms of wealth such as fulfillment, meaning, happiness, and also success. I was just thinking, in the comments, you might like to say something about kindness. For example, one thing that you could be kind about in the next 24 hours, or show kindness towards. Have a great day or night ahead, my friends, and Kate and I look forward to catching up with you again in the next video. Bye for now.